Welcome to the Basic Time Signatures and Beats tutorial created by the junior high band teachers of the Gilbert Unified School District in Gilbert, Arizona. Basic time signatures and beats. What do those numbers mean anyway? At the end of this tutorial, you should understand the location and function of a time signature, the definition of a beat, and the roles of both numbers in a time signature. To be successful, you need to already understand the concepts taught in these earlier tutorials. All rhythm tree tutorials. A time signature looks like a fraction to the right of the clef sign. Here's an example of a time signature next to a treble clef. Here's an example of a time signature next to a bass clef. Time signatures set the rules for dividing written music into smaller sections called bars or measures. It shows the required number of beats per bar and determines which type of note gets one beat. What is a beat? A beat is a steady pulse. We can tap, clap, or move to a beat when experiencing music.
She was just walking down the street singing do-a-dee-dee-dee-dee-dum-dee-dee-dum.
Our metronome clicks a beat when we practice. A beat is visualized in a director's conducting pattern.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
The most common beat is represented by a quarter note. What do the numbers mean? The bottom number shows what kind of note gets one beat. The top number shows how many beats are in a bar. So let's break this down. Think of the bottom number as a fraction with a 1 over it. The bottom number here is 4. Therefore, we think of it as 1 over 4. Another name for 1 over 4 is quarter, so a quarter note gets one beat. The top number here is 4. That tells us there are 4 beats in every bar or measure. So, with a 4/4 time signature, a quarter note gets one beat, and there are 4 beats per bar. Sometimes the bottom number can be something other than a 4, but the rules stay the same. Think of the bottom number as a fraction with a 1 over it. The bottom number here is 8. Therefore, we think of it as 1 over 8. Another name for 1 over 8 is eighth, so an eighth note gets one beat. The top number here is 4. That tells us there are 4 beats in every bar or measure. So, with a 4/8 time signature, an eighth note gets one beat, and there are 4 beats per bar. What if the bottom number was a 16? Same rules. Think of the bottom number as a fraction with a 1 over it. The bottom number here is 16. Therefore, we think of it as 1 over 16. Another name for 1 over 16 is 16th, so a 16th note gets one beat. The top number here is still 4. That tells us there are 4 beats in every bar or measure. So, with a 4 over 16 time signature, a 16th note gets one beat, and there are 4 beats per bar. Another way to look at the bottom number is to replace the bottom number with its corresponding note type. So in our first example of 4/4, we would substitute a quarter note instead of the 4. That shows us that a quarter note gets 1 beat and there are 4 beats per bar. In our 4/8 example, we replace the 8 with an 8th note. That tells us that an 8th note gets 1 beat and there are 4 8th notes per bar. And in our 4/16 time signature, we would replace the 16 with a 16th note. That tells us that a 16th note gets 1 beat and there are 4 16th notes per bar. The most common time signature younger musicians encounter is 4/4. It is the one you will see most often. The bottom number is a 4, so quarter notes get 1 beat. The top number is a 4, so there are 4 beats per bar. Sometimes you might see a large C in place of the numbers of the time signature. A large C refers to common time and almost always means the same as 4/4. So if you see a large C, that equals 4/4 or 4 over a quarter note. Not all music has 4 beats per bar. Most waltzes have 3 beats per bar. If we have a 3/4 time signature, we have a 4 on the bottom, so quarter notes still get 1 beat, but the 3 on the top tells us that there are only going to be 3 beats per bar. Many marches only have 2 beats per bar. Still, with a 4 on the bottom, quarter notes get 1 beat, but with only a 2 on the top, there will be only 2 beats per bar. The top number can be any number. Other numbers are not as common as the 4, the 3, and the 2, but they do occur. In this example, 7/4 time signature, the 4 on the bottom tells us that we still have a quarter note getting 1 beat, but now there are 7 beats per bar. In a 5/4 time signature, with the 4 on the bottom, a quarter note gets 1 beat, but the 5 tells us that there are 5 beats per bar. This tutorial defined time signature and beat. It explained that the bottom number of a time signature determines what kind of note gets 1 beat, and the top number shows how many beats will be in each measure. Different examples of time signatures with varying top and bottom numbers were explored.